Hi, Brian. My name is Linda Hoffman, one of the mentors for LDEP, and I gotta say, I hate glasses. I've tried really, really hard to make the light set the light in such a way that it's not glaring, and this is the best I've gotten. So I hope it works. I am going to do the best I can. And I will periodically take a break to look at the question to make sure I'm answering all that they're needing to have me answer. I'm a fast talker, so I'm also going to try to not talk too fast. Anyway, hopefully the lighting's okay, and hopefully the sound's okay, so we'll see how this goes. So give me a second, make sure hair's okay. Can't really tell, so here's hoping. Necklace is in place. All right. My name is Linda Hoffman, and I have the privilege of serving as an LDEP mentor. This is my second year as an LDEP mentor, and it has been a joy to serve in this capacity. First question. Now I'll respond to it. I will take, sorry, you're going to have to edit all this, but I'll say the question and then I'll respond to it. What are your favorite things about being a mentor? Some of my favorite things about being a mentor for LDEP are, let me try that again. Some of my favorite things about being a mentor for LDEP are, first, simply getting to know my mentees, seeing them at the beginning of the program and getting to know them well throughout the program and seeing how far they have gotten as professionals, the changes that they've had. Many of them have had promotions. It has been a really great thing to observe and to be a part of. So I'd say that's certainly one of my favorite things, is just watching the development and getting to know the individuals. I think another thing is I just have enjoyed being a part of such I've enjoyed, let me try that again. I've really enjoyed being part of such a great program. The professionalism of LDEP, the opportunities that the mentees and participants get in attending the lectures and hearing some of the great speakers, pretty amazing. And as a mentor, I can catch some of those as well, and that's been a really great thing that I've enjoyed about being a mentor in the program. Yeah, so I think in a nutshell, really the people are the thing that I have enjoyed the most, is getting to know them, getting to know their institutions, and being a part of their joys in the journey of enrollment management, and also being a part of their challenges and maybe even sometimes their sorrows as being a part of enrollment management. So the good and the bad, but it's great to partner with each of my mentees. I really have thoroughly enjoyed it. Next question, talk about how you structure a cohort meeting. What happens in the cohort meetings? Cohort meetings may be a new idea for you. Let me try that again. What happens during cohort meetings? Good question. They are probably all a little bit different depending upon who your mentor is. I can speak specifically to how I run my cohort meetings, and they're never really exactly the same. They're always very different because we're talking about different things. I would say that I do tend to send out an agenda about 24 hours ahead of our meetings. That just helps me, and hopefully it helps my mentees as well. I start every meeting with prayer, and then we jump in very briefly just to housekeeping items, maybe talking about our one-on-one mentoring sessions that we have, which are also a lot of fun. And very helpful, I think, for me to get to know the people better, but also to, I hope, for the mentees to gain some assistance as well through the one-on-one mentoring. And then we dive into the first part of the meeting, reflecting on Monday's lecture. So it may be that whoever was the speaker left some prompts for us to go over with our mentees during our mentoring session or cohort meeting. Maybe it's just having folks share about what was their key takeaway or a couple of key takeaways, and bouncing ideas off of each other. When you're dealing with a cohort group or a cohort meeting, you're generally talking about 5 to 7 mentees. And so there's a great opportunity for pretty incredible dialogue, sharing ideas, questioning that you might not be able to in a larger group setting, and you might not really want to in a larger setting. So it just gives you an opportunity to be vulnerable with people that you're trusting, learning to trust, and getting to know well. After that, in my meetings, I generally have, sometime during the beginning of a module, I ask for what are some of the things that they would like to spend some time discussing in our meetings. And I keep a list of those, and I actually put it on the agenda. And we generally try to hit 1 or sometimes 2 of those in each of our meetings. Certainly, if there's something pressing, if something has happened that's impacting all of us, or maybe something's happened on somebody's campus or in their office that they just need a sounding board and cry on somebody's shoulder or rejoice with over. And so we'll take some time during our meetings to do that as well. And even if it means circumventing the agenda, always happy to do that. So that's a little bit about the mentoring or the cohort meetings. And again, one of my favorite things is to meet. We meet this year on Wednesdays for an hour, Wednesday afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. So that gives you, I hope, a little bit of an idea of what a cohort meeting is like. I did mention the one-on-one mentoring, and just wanted to say that during each module, there's an hour that the mentors spend with each mentee. And typically, I can only speak to my situation. I ask the mentees to come to those sessions with things that they would like to discuss. So it's really their agenda. Anything they want to bounce off of me as a sounding board, any questions that they have. If I don't have the answers, I will certainly get back to them with some answers. But it's really an opportunity for them to use me and to hopefully help them get a little bit more insight into some of the questions and things that they're wondering about. So really great time for some feedback and and again, fellowship, I guess you could even say. So that's a little bit about the one-on-one mentoring time. Pause. Mention a favorite moment about a cohort meeting, from a cohort meeting. A favorite moment from my cohort meetings will have to be taking them all together and putting them into one little piece. I can't really think of one specific moment that was special or unique, but I can say that I have thoroughly enjoyed watching the progression of my mentees going from the beginning of our time together at the beginning of the program to the end. Seeing the advancement has been one of my joys, in just almost to a person. The changes in their roles, actually. We've had a lot of promotions. This year, I think every one of my 5 mentees has had a promotion. Doesn't always happen, but this year it did. And so it's been a really, really neat thing to see that happen, and to see how LDEP, frankly, has helped them manage those changes and handle those changes, and to be successful in what they're doing. So that has been one of my favorite things and moments, I guess, but there are a bunch of little moments that have led up to just seeing how the professionals that came into the program have become even more professional, have had more leadership opportunities at their own institutions. It's been pretty neat. reflect on growth and maturation I've seen in my mentees. It has been a genuine privilege to see the growth in each of the mentees over the last 2 years. And some of them I've stayed in touch with even after LDEP and have been able to watch their careers continue to go on. And that's been pretty exciting. So I would say scrap all of that. Sorry, Brian. Growth and maturation. I spoke on it a little bit before, but I did want to say something else. One of the things that I have also really enjoyed is not only just watching the growth professionally in them, but seeing them grow together as a group. And when you have a group of 5 or 7 or somewhere in between, it's just a really special thing to see bonds starting to be strengthened and to be made from those individuals, to the point where mentees are contacting each other outside of the program to get advice on an open house event that they're thinking about, or something that they're struggling with, or wanting to bounce something off of one of them. And so that has been a really neat thing, just to see the fellowship that has been created and the networking opportunities and the friendships, frankly, that have come. I think actually that to a person, each of the mentees would have no problem picking up the phone or shooting an email to one of their colleagues. In fact, this year, a lot of just out of our LDEP time, emails are floating around. Hey, what do you guys do about this? Or how would you handle this situation? And just watching the emails going back and forth. So I've loved watching that develop over the last 2 years with the mentees. Stress how the lectures are practical and valuable. LDEP will not disappoint. You may be sitting there thinking that this is a lot to take on, and it is something new to take on, but I will say you can do it. I've seen it many times of people starting the program thinking, what am I getting myself into? But what I have appreciated about LDEP is, for the people coming into LDEP, they are individuals who are looking to make enrollment management a profession, be it for a couple years, be it for a lifetime. And because these are people in leadership, they are constantly pouring into their staff, into other people's lives, and they don't have as much opportunity to be poured into. LDEP is as much that as it is getting a certificate. It's really about pouring into the individuals who are in the program. You will be more passionate about what you do because of LDEP. You will certainly be more knowledgeable about what you do because of LDEP. And wanted to speak briefly on the lectures. They are incredible. Not to make it too simple, but you will get to hear from experts in the field, people who have been doing this their entire career. You'll hear from presidents, and many of them who have come out of the enrollment management area, and how their lives have been molded because of enrollment management, and how important what we do is to their role and their success. You'll hear from financial aid experts. You'll hear from marketing experts. You'll hear from student development experts. And it's a great opportunity to learn from these lectures, but also to gather together with other mentees and other classmates, however many may be in your group. And unlike the cohort groups that are quite a bit smaller, these are larger groups. This is a larger group because it's everybody together, but you have breakout sessions. So you're going to have an opportunity to mingle and to dialogue with other admissions professionals from other institutions and other parts of the country that aren't in your cohort group. So great opportunity to, again, learn from them. Iron sharpens iron. gaining wisdom from not only the speakers but also other colleagues in your breakout sessions and in the class in general. These are speakers who want to have somebody raise their hand virtually, certainly, and ask questions and get some feedback from others in the group. So there's give and take during the lectures, but these are great opportunities for you to grow professionally. Life is full, and there will be times where you just can't make it to a lecture, and that's okay. The beauty of LDEP is we record the lectures, so you can watch the lecture after the fact. It's not as good as being there live because you don't have the opportunity to interact and you don't have the benefit of being part of a breakout session, but you can still hear the lecture, and that's a really neat thing about how LDEP functions. So you will not be disappointed by the lectures, and you will be stretched, you'll be challenged, and again, you will be refreshed, and the passion for why you do what you do will be ignited again if it needs to be, or spurred on a little bit more too. So lectures are amazing. And tidbits. If I were to give any advice to you, sitting there thinking, should I do LDEP? Is now the right time? I would say now's as good a time as any. It may seem daunting to take on one more thing on top of the wily world of enrollment management, on top of life outside of work, on top of everything you're trying to juggle. But again, I would say that LDEP breathes life into you. As somebody who is constantly giving and constantly stressed over numbers and stressed over staffing and stressed over a lot, this is a opportunity to have others to kind of dump on. Mentors are good to be dumped on, but also just the camaraderie that you get with your fellow classmates. It is really a priceless experience. And yeah, I would say dive in. You will not regret it. You will find time. The expectation of commitment of time is not as much as you think it may be coming into it. To a person in my group, when I asked them if if they thought it was a lot to take on, they would say they thought it would be, and the more they did, the more they realized it was actually refreshing and that it was manageable. So I think dive in, jump in, whichever you prefer. But my advice, my little tidbit for you to leave you with would be to do it. And you will enjoy it. You will gain a lot from it. You will be a better enrollment professional because of it. Any other tidbit? Let's see. I think I've done too much already. So I will end with I've loved being a mentor. It honestly has been one of the joys of my professional career. I love pouring into others who are excited about enrollment management, and I hope that you will take the step and jump into being an LDEP participant in the next cohort, or when, it's not, let me try that again. I have loved being an LDEP mentor. It honestly has been one of the joys of my career. I would only encourage you to be bold, be brave, jump in, be a part of the next LDEP program. You will not regret it. You will also find that it is one of the joys of your career, and you will be so glad before, during, and especially after, with the new relationships that you've built, the new knowledge that you've gained, the confidence you've gained, and I think most importantly, again, the new passion that you have for why you do what you do. It is a high calling. It's not for the faint of heart. the career, and LDEP will just make you that much more excited about what you do. So jump in and enjoy the program. Hope to meet you soon. I hope that's 5 seconds. All right. Thanks for putting up with me, Brian. Bye.